Watch out, man. All right. Just turn around.
This is 44-year-old Eugene Gligor. He was returning home from work when police arrested him, completely unaware that a cold case unit had been tracking him for months in connection with a brutal murder case 22 years ago.
I didn't do anything that you're talking about.
There's no tears coming out of your face.
In 2002, 50-year-old Leslie Prier was found murdered in her own bathroom. There was no murder weapon, no witnesses, and no clear leads. With nowhere else to turn, detectives focused their suspicions on her closest circle.
I'm not going to go any further. I did not do this.
If he committed this murder, at some point, I could not relate, but I could understand how he got pushed to that point.
As days turned into months, and months stretched into more than 2 decades, investigators slowly came to a chilling realization. The person responsible was someone no one had ever suspected. It was 11:47 a.m. on May 2nd, 2001, when police in affluent Chevy Chase, Maryland received a 911 call that would kickstart a 2-decade-long mystery.
911, what's emergency?
I'm at 4824 Drummond, Chevy Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I work for a company, and we didn't have a call from an employee. We just walked in the door, our husband and I, and there's blood in the foyer,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like something possibly happened.
Okay.
You have just heard the voice of Leslie Prier's boss, Brett Ridey. On the morning of May 2nd, Leslie, who was notoriously on time to her 10 a.m. shift as an administrative assistant, never arrived. Concerned, Brett called Leslie's husband, Carl Sandy Prier. Immediately concerned, Sandy raced to his home, where Brett waited for him so that they could check on the welfare of Leslie. But the second that they stepped inside, they knew that something bad had happened. Blood was smeared across the walls of the entryway, with droplets scattered across the stairs and the baseboards of the hall. Panicked, Sandy began to run room to room, desperately trying to find his wife. After not spotting her, he checked with the neighbors and began calling local hospitals. He thought, given the location of the blood, that Leslie may have fallen down the stairs and injured herself. The reality was much, much worse. When the police arrived, they asked Sandy if he had checked everywhere. He said that he had, except for the master bathroom. In their report, they noted this as quote-unquote suspicious. Moments after being told where Sandy had and hadn't searched, they discovered the body of Leslie Prier curled up in the fetal position in the shower, having died of several blunt force trauma wounds.
And then the cops showed up. We went back outside, and the cops showed up, and we told them at that point. Well, we didn't say much actually. I don't remember. We just said we can't find her. So they went in, and as I'm outside, Sandy goes, the only thing I did. I said, Sandy, did you check everywhere? And he says, Brett, I didn't check the bathroom. I said, all right, well, whatever. And about 5 minutes later, the officer comes out, and his face just said everything. He walked up to Sandy and said, your wife is dead. And that's about it.
Okay. When he went upstairs, how long was he upstairs?
Very quick.
Quicker than basement? Or about the same amount of time?
About the same amount of time. He was calling her name. It was a very quick 2-minute cursory. Leslie, ran out downstairs, ran upstairs.
Okay. Were you with him throughout, his search on the first floor? How about the first floor?
The first floor, yeah. And I forgot to mention one thing. We did go to the back door, the kitchen back door. I forgot about that. And there was blood on the kitchen door also.
When the police wandered downstairs to tell Sandy the news, he was utterly devastated. But when the police looked at Sandy, they didn't see a husband in mourning. They saw a man with a motive. Immediately, he was questioned about his involvement in the murder. But after learning that he's being seen as possibly the culprit behind his wife's death, he shut down after 2 hours of incessant questioning, saying that he wanted to speak to an attorney. Unfortunately for us, the audio for this interrogation is compromised after years of wasting away. A few weeks later, however, he agreed to come to the police department. And this interrogation gives a very good perspective on why he asked for an attorney.
You guys, I don't mean to show any disrespect, but I've been cooperating with you since day one, and I think I've answered enough questions.
Just about the answering machine? I don't understand.
My attorney said not to answer any more questions. And again, I don't need to show any disrespect to you guys at all.
Who is your attorney?
Howard Schindler.
I'm not familiar with him. Where is he? Do you know his office?
He's in Fort Washington.
Okay, so they're PG County.
Well, we wanted to, some of the information that we came back with as a result of the investigation has now come in. And we wanted to talk with you about that. So I guess it's in your ballpark if you want to discuss it with us.
Based on what my attorney says, I don't think so.
Okay.
And again, I don't mean to show any disrespect to you guys at all.
Okay. Jim, do you have anything?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. When's it going to end, Sam?
I'm sorry?
When's it going to end?
Again, Detective Drury, I'm not answering any more questions. Based on what my attorney said.
Well, I can't tell you what to do, Sandy, okay? I can suggest some things, though. You gotta live with yourself.
I sure as heck have to.
And sometimes folks, even if they're attorneys, can't tell you how to live with yourself.
I can live with myself.
Can't tell you how to do the right thing. Can't tell you how to put closure to some things. And to allow other people maybe to get closure. Specifically Lauren. Like I said before, we all do things that we sometimes regret. Doesn't make you a bad person. Just means that sometimes you just lost her for that minute. And I'm not trying to sit here in judgment, neither is Mike. But there's some things that you gotta try to do to set things straight, especially for other folks. Because we all know what happened. And I think it'd be a travesty for Lauren for her to go through the rest of her doggone life trying to figure out just what the hell happened.
It's bad enough for her to deal with the grief of the loss of her mother. But I think also she's a forgiving person.
I would love to respond to these questions.
Well, you can.
But my attorney said not to.
But it happened. And it happened, you can't walk away from it. And you can't walk away from it.
You should walk away from it.
You won't, trust me.
Okay. And I'll just tell you one thing, you've got the wrong guy.
Detectives at this point are so convinced that Sandy was involved in the murder that he had already taken a lie detector test. One which he failed, only adding fuel to the fire. All the while, as the rumors ran rampant, Lauren, the Preers' daughter, was mourning the loss of her mother, and potentially her father. But before we continue, let's talk about something that's been bothering us. You ever notice how the internet seems to know a little too much about you? You search for something once, and suddenly every ad knows. That's not a coincidence. It's how the system is designed. There are entire companies data brokers whose entire business is to collect, package, and sell your private info. Your phone number, your home address, your email, even your family members. And they sell it to anyone. Marketers, scammers, stalkers. No consent, no warning. When we looked ourselves up, just our names and emails, dozens of sites had our information listed. It felt like someone built a digital dossier on us and left it wide open. That's why we decided to use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura is like a digital bodyguard. It finds where your info is being sold and scrubs it off automatically. No paperwork, no rabbit holes. They handle it all. Aura doesn't just stop at removing your data from broker sites. It also monitors the dark web and alerts you if your personal information shows up. You'll get real-time fraud detection tied to your credit and banking activity, plus tools like a secure VPN, antivirus, and a password manager, all in one app. And if something ever does go wrong, you're backed up by up to $5 million in identity theft insurance and 24/7 US-based support. Try it free for 14 days at aura.com/thevillains. In those 2 weeks, you'll discover where your data is being exposed and sold. We're not leaving ourselves vulnerable, and you shouldn't either.
I examined your wife's body. All those years of examining body after body after body. All those deaths teach me. When I look at someone dead, I can get a pretty good feel right off the bat when they die, because the body goes through irrefutable physiological changes that you don't know about, because unless you're a pathologist or unless you've got 20 years of homicide experience, none of which you have, this information is going to come forth. I've got it right here. It's time to step up and say, okay. If we were trying to, we'd be fools to try to trick you. Because you're not stupid, and we understand that. But we're not stupid either, and don't insult our intelligence either. I know you don't mean to. But it's frustrating for us when all this evidence points to one person. And it's not a serial killer out there wandering the neighborhoods waiting to prey on people. Good to respond to that. Things like rigor mortis, things like liver mortis, things like stomach contents, digestion. All those things tell us things. And they told us things like this case. Irrefutable things. If she's killed in the morning, why aren't there bloody dog prints all over the place? The dog was free to roam the house. Dogs are inevitably, by their very nature, because regardless of being domestic, they are still animals. They are attracted to blood. They go over, they lick it, they sniff it. The dog wasn't on the crime scene because there's no dog prints. Remember the O.J. Simpson case? Where they found the two people. The dog had tracked in and out of the walkway, sniffing blood from Nicole Simpson. No dog prints. Dog was put somewhere else during the cleanup. How do you explain that to a group of people unbiased and that respond to common sense? How do you respond and convince people that blood dries in less than a couple hours to the point where paper is stuck to it, adhered to it?
The evidence that the police have presented here is, in fact, not based on any science, but in personal opinion. The officer who arrived believed that, due to the state of Leslie's body, she must have died when Sandy was still home, not after he left. However, rigor mortis cannot be used as an exact estimate for the time of death. Depending upon factors like temperature, humidity, and even muscle mass, the progression of rigor mortis can be altered. In other words, the detectives have no way to scientifically prove that she was dead before Sandy left the house. But the questioning continues for nearly an hour and a half regardless. Finally, Sandy calls his attorney to see if he can come in to be beside him during questioning.
Am I being detained?
No.
No, I'm not. No. Can the attorney come in at another time?
Sure.
Uh,
The thing is, though, that, like, I mean,
Yes.
say that if you want to talk, if you want to tell us what happened, okay, then have your attorney here.
Am I
Let's
free to
do it
go?
now. Yes.
Yes. Well, okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Yes. No, that's okay. I think
Dad, Zeus.
See if you can reach your hand through, hold your hand once he wants.
Okay, I think they said I could go. Yeah. Okay, will do. All right, bye.
If they want to come in now, okay, and be with you while you tell us what happened, I say fine. Bro, come on now, let's do it, man.
I'm not going to go any further. I did not do this.
And you did. And we know it, okay? So, come on, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
So am I allowed to go?
If you wish to leave, absolutely, man. I thought you said you'd stay here all night long and listen to us. The door is right there, okay, but if you want to listen to us, I mean, I know you want to do the right thing. I know you do, man.
Let me ask you this. I'm allowed to walk out that door right now?
Absolutely.
Okay, then I prefer one.
Then you're out of here?
Okay. Anything else I need to take?
No, we can't give you some of the other stuff yet.
All right. Well, you said at one time, I hope one day that we'll be able to sit down and have a drink together. And I
hope so, but it's not looking good right now.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm known, but
From the detective's point of view, Sandy still looked like their best lead, even though they had nothing concrete to prove it. So they brought in Lauren, Sandy, and Leslie's daughter to hear what she knew and how she was processing everything. And her perspective only adds more uncertainty to where this case is really heading.
I don't know. Your dad, we felt like talking with your dad, he just seemed, he was obviously just traumatized by this.
Mm-hmm.
But he also just seemed like he was just holding back.
Really?
And not coming forward. I mean, it was just.
But isn't that, I'm not. It's just,
yeah,
I'm not.
You can be the devil's advocate. I understand. You're his daughter.
No, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm saying at this point, nothing was surprised. Not nothing was surprising, but I'm at that point where, if my father did it, then I'm ready to deal with that, and that's okay. Not okay, but I'm ready to deal with that. But I'm saying, isn't it like really, and these are just general questions I have to do just regarding my father. It could be somebody I know or whatever. Just regarding my situation, like, isn't it really hard for somebody to work through or like fake and not crack under the kind of pressure that two detectives put them on?
It is. It takes a lot of self-discipline.
Yeah.
A lot of intelligence generally. People who are, I think, less intelligent don't do as well under interrogation. Your father's certainly not unintelligent, and he's, is one, I think he's got a substantial amount of self-discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Historically he's gotten angry and yelled and so forth, but there haven't been any knockdown drag-outs that we know of between your mother and your dad. And certainly what you've told us, what some of her friends have told us, what Sandy has told us,
mm-hmm.
She certainly put him on the edge a number of times where a lot of people would just and just swing out in anger, but he does have that, and generally So his response to, I remember when we talked to him at one time, we felt like it just looked like he wanted to say something, but it was almost like he just shut everything down and pulled back and just said, no, I'm just going to. And he has just basically maintained that despite the things that we, told him.
What thoughts do you have as far as like what happened?
I'm perplexed. I honestly, truly, to God, I mean, of course, I'm not stupid. I'm 24. I'm not, I've heard stories like we were talking about that people can just snap, and then the time frame, the situation, the house, so those kind of things don't make me think, don't put me at ease of saying, I know for a fact my dad's innocent. Not because, I think he did it, but because no matter who it was, if it was like my friend's boyfriend, do you know what I mean? The relationship, I put my relationship aside, and I look at it, just the situation, saying that person isn't 100% innocent. And then there's the other side that couldn't be, or whatever, you know what I mean? Okay. And then the other side is like, it's my father, and I've seen him, my whole entire life. I've seen him interact with my mom, I've seen him deal with her, it was nothing new. And my dad was never a violent person, ever. He was still learning to like our animals, and he always took care of my stupid fish, and never even flushed into the toilet, like we buried the hamsters in the backyard, like made it like grave for them. Like he had such a warm heart, and so many he like a vibe. He wasn't, even though when I was younger he did have like a yelling streak, and that's because he was just so overworked. And he didn't do that my whole entire junior high school. He never ever physically harmed an animal. He never hit me. He never hit my mom, ever. At her worst. I mean, seriously. And she put him in the worst positions, and it's hard for me to just imagine him like, first of all, kill her by the front door, which doesn't make any sense. Second of all, just snap that one night. He's not that type of person. He's never done anything like before. He would usually just be like, fuck off or whatever, and I'm leaving, and he would get in the car and go. Stay at a house, he wouldn't, my mother never could get my dad to the point to where he was so mad, like he wanted to physically touch her. Ever.
I have been in police situations where I've lost my temper with people. Mm-hmm. And just literally wanted to pound them to death.
Right.
And I was able to, I had people around, I was able to control myself. But we all get in positions in our lifetime, and you're 24 years of age now. There will come times in your life, especially if you have children. That's a jumping ball, and I can both speak of that. There are times when your kids get you so angry that you just want to grab them.
Right.
And you have the self-control, pull back, and move away. That's why we get so many child abuses and so many kids beaten, and because people snap. And I spent some years in youth division before I came to homicide. And I talked to parents who were just like me, middle class, college educated, good people. They just smacked their kid clear across the room. Right. Just lost it for that millisecond. And if they could take it back, they would take it back. But they couldn't. It didn't mean that they were terrible parents, that they were bad. They reached a point where at one point in their time, they just lost control. Right. And they got it right back. But it was too late.
Right.
And that's what I think, if your dad, and I'm saying if, your dad was responsible, that's what happened here. Your dad was a strong man, capable of putting up with a lot of bullshit. Obviously, his job was all over him. He was having difficulties with Leslie and her drinking, and it was concerning him. He told that to us, that he was just at his wit's end with her. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know whether to get her committed or what. He had a lot of weight on his shoulders.
If he committed this murder, at some point, I could not relate, but I could understand how he got pushed to that point.
Did you forgive him?
Of course. No matter what. What's the word? I just slipping my head. The word, it's unconditional love is my father, no matter what.
Exactly.
But in reality, they didn't have any evidence against Sandy. In fact, they had evidence that exonerated him. Detectives were able to take DNA samples from underneath Leslie's fingernails. When tested against the DNA of Sandy Prieur, they were not a match. Police also tested several of Leslie's male coworkers, friends, and family members, but no one was a match. For years, the police were at a loss. The public largely still believed that the perpetrator was Sandy, who raised his daughter under the suspicious eyes of others. That is, until 22 years later, when police submitted the DNA to Othram, a genetic genealogy corporation who were able to test DNA against samples that were admitted to the Family Tree DNA's open data personal genomics database. This told them that the person whose DNA was under Leslie's fingernails at the time of her death was descended from the Gligor family, which was the final piece of the puzzle for the detectives, because that last name was familiar. Leslie's daughter, Lauren, dated a boy named Eugene Gligor as a teenager. Eugene not only knew Leslie, but he was in the Prieur family home often. And when the detectives looked into Eugene, his background immediately raised some eyebrows. He had a history of burglaries, drug use, and run-ins with the police when he was younger. Nothing that proved guilt, but enough to make investigators want a closer look. Since he had spent time in the Prieur home while dating Lauren, the detectives felt that it was important to rule him out properly. So they set out to obtain his DNA. Rather than approach him directly, they waited for an opportunity to collect it discreetly. That chance came when Eugene finished drinking from a water bottle and threw it away. The detectives retrieved it, sent it off for testing, and waited. When the results came back, they confirmed what investigators had begun to suspect. The DNA found under Leslie's fingernails belonged to Eugene Gligor. On June 18, 2024, detectives moved in to arrest Eugene Gligor for the murder of Leslie Prieur, 23 years after her death.
All right, sir. We'll adjust it. Hold on. There aren't many for comfort, but we'll make it.
I get it.
Yeah, we'll make it. We'll ease it up on it. Yeah, no problem. I ain't got nothing personal wrong with you.
Yeah.
Do you go to the office, or what do you do?
No, I work from home.
Okay. What were you doing out here? Just chilling out in the fresh air?
Just having some coffee.
Okay. So you didn't know anything about this warrant? Okay. Our boss will tell you everything about it. It's nothing big.
I'm going to take him. Hold his arm. I'm going to twist his arm straight. Move your arm back.
I drove this here by coincidence. I think we'll see that. Like a cruiser?
Yeah.
It was, yeah. It's just weird coincidence.
Well, he had some.
Yeah. Have you ever?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Have a watch out, man. All right. Just turn around. Thank you.
Yeah. You got any tattoos on there? Yes.
Where that?
My hat.
With that?
You're 40. How old? 24. He's more like a couple years older than you. You look a lot younger than me. This job kills you.
That's stressful life.
Yeah, this stupid job.
What's that?
That's the reason why.
Yeah, we knew we did that.
Police transported Gligor for questioning to a local station in D.C., near where he was living. Gligor worked as a real estate agent, had been married, and was living a cozy, comfortable life. Meanwhile, the Prieur family had been living in agony, waiting for answers. And finally, they were about to get them.
Hi, Eugene.
Hello.
I'm going to water, right? Okay. And I'll be able to, if need a break or something, let you know. Okay. Thank you. I am Detective Costin. This is Detective DuPois. Hi there. From Montgomery County.
Okay.
I'm sure you're wondering what this is all about.
I'd really like to know.
Yeah.
This has been really, really hard. Whatever's happening.
Well, we're going to get through all of that with you. We just have to do some paperwork real quick. Yep.
Before we can talk to you about anything, we have to read you your rights. Okay. So now that that's out of the way, we are from Montgomery County. We actually work in the cold case unit. We investigate crimes that have been unsolved for quite a period of time. We investigate homicides and rapes. So we were working on a case that came from Chevy Chase. And when we were going through the case file, your name was in there as someone that was related to the family, whether we have a big list of people, but friends, family, something like that. So do you recall back in 2001, Leslie Preer?
Yes, that she was murdered. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that's the case that we are investigating. You went to BCC with her daughter at the time?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And what was your relationship with Lauren, the daughter?
We had dated.
Okay. And when did you guys date? Do you remember years?
Exact dates, I'm not entirely sure.
Were you in high school or was it after high school?
Yeah, it was high school. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe like 1994 to 1997 or something around there.
Okay. And from your dates of birth, I can see you're a little bit younger than Lauren. So was she already graduated from high school, or were you guys both still in high school when you guys were dating?
We were both in high school. She had finished high school. And I believe we had dated for a few months while she was in college, but that was it.
Okay. And so you and Lauren had dated well before her mother was killed. Do you remember, were you still in touch with Lauren when this stuff happened to her mom?
No, we had broken up a couple years before, at least. Maybe longer, I'm not sure. And I believe I reached out just to send my regards and maybe saw her a couple times, and but that was it.
Okay. Do you remember how you found out about it?
I remember I was at work, and I believe she had actually told me that she had come into where I was working at a restaurant, and she had told me that.
And when you were younger, did you ever get in any trouble with the police or anything?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
Yeah, not that I can recall.
Okay. How well did you know Lauren's mom? Like, was there ever any kind of a weird relationship between you two after Lauren?
No. Okay. I mean, I wasn't in touch, so I don't.
Okay. So you were never like dating Lauren's mom or anything like that behind the scenes?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't ever in touch. That.
Okay. So the reason that we wanted to talk to you is because a lot of the people whose names are in the case file, they've been interviewed throughout the years, and they've been asked to give DNA samples to compare to DNA from the crime scene. And pretty much everybody that's in the list has been talked to, has been eliminated as a suspect. Your name was actually in the file, but they never reached out to you or never spoke to you for some reason. So that's why we wanted to reach out to you and see if you recall anything about the time when Leslie was killed, anything that you remember about your life at the time that could be relevant, any relationships you had with the family or anything like that.
I really don't recall.
Okay. So from the crime scene, we have DNA from the person who was there when Leslie died. So there's Leslie's blood all over the place, obviously. But then there's also another DNA profile that was picked up from the crime scene. And we had put that into CODIS, our database from the National CODIS DNA Index System, and it has never hit. So whoever was there, whoever's DNA was also on the scene, has never been arrested. And that's why we were going through doing all of these elimination DNA samples to find out, okay, well, this person couldn't have done it because we matched their DNA to it. So we realized that they never talked to you, never did anything, and we wanted to find out more about you and if there was any kind of situation where you could have been at the house at that time.
I'm a little confused. So to find out more and talk to me, why not just call me and ask me to come in and talk to me versus have marshals come and arrest me and bring me in? I'm just confused as to why that's the case.
Well, because we needed to talk to you in a controlled environment and because there's a little bit more to it than what we've told you so far.
Could you tell me?
Well, we're getting there. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to be a little bit forthcoming before we...
I mean, I feel a little bit trapped here. Like,
well, you're under arrest, so you should feel trapped.
Right.
Okay?
And so I think, I mean, probably asking for a lawyer is my best course of action at this point.
Okay.
Instead of doing any more discussing or talking about it, it just doesn't seem, I don't understand. So I'd like to have somebody.
Well, that's why we're trying to talk to you about it.
I know.
But we can't.
And there's two of you and one of me. So sure. I feel a little outnumbered. And I probably would need some type of representation if I am under arrest, as you said, which I am.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I think that having a lawyer would be the best for me in my interest at this point.
That's totally fine. And we don't have to ask you any more questions, but we are going to just tell you some stuff.
Okay.
So from the crime scene, the DNA that was taken, we actually have a sample of your DNA and it was compared to the crime scene DNA and it matched. So we know that you were there at the time when Leslie died.
But I never gave a sample of DNA.
That's correct. We obtained a sample from a discarded water bottle that you drank out of. So you were followed and we collected it after you discarded it into the trash and it was swabbed and it was compared. So your DNA matches the crime scene DNA.
Now, the bottle that the police collected involved a lot more tracking, stealth, and hard work than they're stating here. Eugene went on a trip to London shortly before his arrest. On his return flight, the police had him brought in for a random screening at the airport. There, in a controlled environment, the TSA asked him some questions and offered him a water bottle. As soon as Eugene drank it and tossed it in the trash, he was released. And immediately after, the detective swooped in to grab the sample. By the way, if you're finding this video interesting so far, please do us a favor. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and help us get to 1 million subscribers. We are so close. Now, let's dive back in.
I don't know what to say. I have no recollection. I have no memory. I don't know what to say.
Okay, well, that's why we wanted to talk to you, to find out if there's any other explanation. But we can't ask you any more questions if you want a lawyer present.
Yeah, I think I should have a lawyer present. I just don't know what to do or say. It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Do you have a lawyer that you...
No.
Okay.
I don't have to call. I don't know. I probably would call my girlfriend and ask her to help funds. I don't know.
We wanted to try to see if there was another angle or another side to this story. And, we know
why would my DNA be there?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
So I don't know. I don't know. I was in the house, but it was years before, when I dated her.
Correct.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. This is all very bewildering, very strange. Is there more that you're going to tell me? Is there more?
We've told you plenty. We can't continue to ask you questions.
If you want to keep talking, we can. But if you want to stop, you have to let us know for sure.
Yeah.
We can tell you more about, what we think happened.
I mean, what you think happened? I don't know. I can't verify. I don't know. I don't recall. I don't have any memory. I didn't do anything that you're talking about, so I don't know. And I don't feel like I can. I don't know how to answer and go into. I don't want to try to incriminate myself with questions. You guys are professionals. I'm not. I don't know. I really do think I need an attorney. I need to use the phone and I need to call someone and I need legal representation before I respond to anything else.
Okay, that's fine. We're not going to ask you any more questions. There's no tears coming out of your face.
I'm very dry right now.
You're dry?
I'm very dry. I'm parched. I'm dehydrated. You can probably see my eyes are bloodshot red because I'm just tired and drained. I don't know what's going on. You want me to drink water so I can tear? Like, what
I don't
the fuck
want
is
you
wrong
to tear.
with you?
I don't want you to tear. I just don't want
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say that this seems a little put on.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Oh my God, you're so full of it. You're after. This is the police. This is, yes, like it makes sense. It's in your eyes, it's guilty until proven innocent. I get it.
Well, honey, your DNA was in the crime scene.
His DNA being at the crime scene was utterly devastating for Lauren. In fact, Lauren had run into Eugene about a year before his arrest. They had chatted like old friends. And Lauren had no idea that Eugene had been the person who had murdered her mother over 2 decades ago. In fact, she was proud of Eugene when she ran into him. In his teens, he had struggled with substance use, which resulted in frequent burglaries and run-ins with the law. At one point, he was even the suspect in the murder of a jogger just weeks before the murder of Leslie Preer. But when Leslie ran into him in 2022, things were different. He was clean-cut, off drugs, and making a name for himself. But very soon, he was about to reap what he had sown all those years ago.
There's due process, right? Sure. Due process. So you're saying I'm guilty before I've even been put into a court of law?
I'm saying that there's probable cause to believe that you were there when
I think what you were saying was the contrary to that. So, okay. But I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know. So
what we're trying to figure out is how your blood was at the scene that day.
If there's an alternate explanation, that's why we wanted to talk to you today, okay? So I feel like you just need to take a breath for a second, okay? That's what we're trying to figure out. Why is your blood there?
Could it have been, an interrupted burglary? Did something happen where you didn't expect anybody to be home?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't recall. Again, you're asking me questions that I don't know.
I'm not asking you a question.
You did. You just asked me a question, and I asked for legal representation, and you guys are very smug looking at me like I've done something, and of course it's innocent until proven guilty, right? Sure. Am I wrong or am I right?
You are entitled to your due process. Absolutely.
This is insane. This is insane. I really don't know what else to say other than please allow me to, you read it to me, right? That I am allowed legal representation.
Absolutely.
This would be the best thing for me to do right now.
We are not going to ask any more questions. Nope. You said you wanted to know more, so we were telling you more.
I'm sorry. I'm really on edge and
I can see
upset. And yeah.
Okay. You would like legal representation? That is absolutely your right. We will not ask you any more questions. All right?
And how do I go about doing this?
We're done talking to you. They're going to walk you back over to processing, and once they are done, I don't know if they've done fingerprints and all that stuff with you yet. Once they're done with all that, and you meet with, I think in DC, you're going to still meet with a commissioner and be charged with this paperwork for this, or be served with it, and then you'll have an opportunity to make whatever phone calls you need to make.
Okay. I'm really confused, and I'm really at a loss, and I don't know, I don't have any recollection of being involved with any of this.
You keep saying you don't remember and you don't have any recollection.
Well,
but if somebody was not involved, it would be an adamant, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I definitely didn't do it. Like, this is absolutely, this is, you know, I've been an alcoholic in recovery for years now. I've been sober for years. And there are many, many times in which earlier life wasn't great. You know, abusive father, issues at, you know, but at the same time, this isn't something that I know I didn't do it. I know I wasn't involved. And I just don't understand how this has come to this. I really wish I knew. And I really wish I could give you some answers and give you more feedback from an honest perspective, because I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't
know either. That's why we wanted to talk to you. I don't know why your blood is there also. I don't know.
Wow.
The only person that knows is Leslie, and she can't tell us.
Wow. Can't believe it. Do I get to make phone call?
Yeah,
we're
all done. Do you have any other questions for us?
I don't. If something comes up, I'm freaking flabbergasted. I don't know what to say or what to do or what to think right now.
Okay. After you talk to your attorney, if you want to talk to us again, my name and information is on the paperwork that you're going to get. You can have your attorney reach out to Montgomery County. He'll be able to figure out, or he or she, whoever, will be able to figure out how to get in touch with us. Okay? All right.
Ultimately, Eugene never gave a reason for murdering Leslie Prieur. He repeatedly denied remembering the murder. Detectives, however, believed that he may have broken into the home in order to steal money for drugs, since he knew from dating Lauren that the back door was always left open. They suspect that he was surprised by Leslie when he entered the home, and as a result, he bludgeoned her to death. Sadly, though, we will never know the real truth because Eugene has kept that from both Lauren and the public. Eugene took a plea deal and was sentenced to 22 years in prison for the death of Leslie Prieur. Lauren is both shocked and relieved that the person who killed her mother is finally behind bars. Sadly, her father, who had been the prime suspect for years, passed away in 2017, never knowing who took his wife from the world. His obituary read that he had never recovered from the loss of her. If you found this case interesting, well, then you need to check out my video on the evil neighbor who drove into a birthday party.